Hello and welcome to the Catecast, a podcast for Catholic teachers, parish leaders, and parents. I am Jacob, and with me is my wife, Alicia.
Heyo.
We are here to share with you what we have been doing in life to pass on the Catholic faith in the classroom, at church, and at home. You are listening to episode 6 of the Catecast.
From a very long...
What do you want to call it, season 2?
very long break.
That's fine. We didn't make any promises.
It was the end of the school year. I can't do anything extra.
Well, summer is here.
Woo!
All the good things come during summer, right? Lots of fun.
Lots of fun.
Lots of baseball games and t-ball games and sunshine.
Relaxing and restoration.
Time to read.
Learning.
That's learning for you.
Huh?
Lots of learning for you. Like you're taking a bunch of courses for school.
Yeah. I misheard you.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm taking lots of classes. Most I've taken since I've been in college. I don't know.
Probably. What are you taking? 3 or 4 this summer?
Yeah, ish.
Okay.
3-ish, 4-ish. 4. Yep, taking some classes on dyslexia and learning all about that, and I'm getting trained as a RESA facilitator, and I'm taking a class on the Eucharist, which you also are taking a class on.
Yes, we are both taking a class on the Eucharist, which reminds me, we owe someone an apology for never answering their email.
Who?
Do you remember that?
What?
When Meredith emailed us and asked us to check out the book that she wrote about the Eucharist.
Well, that's on you.
Okay. I never answered that email, so I owe
Whoops.
Meredith an apology.
Probably just lost our one subscriber.
I'm sure it was a great book. I saw some other reviews of it on Substack, and it looked good, looked positive. So I do want to check it out at some point. But Meredith, I'm sorry we didn't answer your email. I didn't answer your email.
Yeah. I don't know about any of these things. But yeah, so summer is here. And I've also... summer is a interesting time because it's all about resting and relaxing, and I don't have to go to work per se, but I also have lots of things to do around here, and I try and keep myself like busy creatively. But I've got like the list of to-do things just like swirling around in my head of like, what am I going to do today? How am I going to be productive? Or am I going to be creative today? Or am I just going to sit around and do nothing? Or am I just going to like answer the kids' questions all day long of, can I watch a movie? So just lots of to-dos, a list of to-dos. I've been power washing the house.
Yes.
Trying to organize some stuff, do some school prep, but not too much school prep, so I feel like I'm just working all summer long, doing some reading, some gardening, hoping to do some painting. I need to get back into watercolor. I haven't done it in a while. What about you? What are some goals?
My goals for the summer?
Wake up and go to work.
Yeah, pretty much. Wake up, go to work, try to do some good things that are good for me as well, whether that's going to the gym or eating better or hanging out with friends and playing board games or playing board games with our kids and our family. It's been a lot of fun too, having a lot of time to do that. Lots of reading, different things. So we've been taking the course through Notre Dame on the Eucharist and Catholic education. That's been fantastic, and that's really sparked a lot of reading for me. I picked up like quite a few books by a theologian. What's his last name's Caldecott. I can't remember his first name right now. Oh shoot. Oh well, I'll find it. I'll figure it out later. But he wrote quite a few theology books over the last few decades, and he wrote specifically about the Eucharist in Catholic education, and he used this phrase called being a school of thanks, where it's not that we're trying to fit the Eucharist into the academic ventures of a Catholic school, but it's the other way around. We are taking our kind of academic interests and the human formation element of the school and bringing it to the Eucharist and making it an offering, everything we do in the school, an offering to Jesus through the Eucharist.
Yeah, that reminds me of, they were also, so they do live discussions each week on Wednesdays, and this past week, one of the presenters or the interviewees, I don't know, is that a word?
Maybe.
He was talking about how the Eucharist calls us to be people of encounter. Not only are we called to encounter the Eucharist, but we're also called to encounter one another, and that kind of community of I think he also talked about we're not just building a place of programming and putting on all these programs, but we're trying to build a culture of a culture of love and of encounter with one another and with Jesus Christ, and what that looks like, in a Catholic school, and how we can call the students to that same, and the families to the same, idea. So it's been really interesting.
Yeah.
Really just again, has my head spinning about oh, what are all the things that we do to, change or become more of a Eucharistic school.
Yeah, and I think that's not limited to just the school. A faith formation program, right, can be Eucharistic and can have that culture, can move towards that culture of encounter. A family can be Eucharist and move towards that culture of encounter. A parish can have that, right, and move towards a culture of encounter. So it's not just something that's limited to Catholic education, but it's something where I guess it's an area where we're both working in and need some, it's a place where we are going to have some intentionality just in our jobs. But that's something that we want, for our home as well. We want our kids to be able to encounter Christ in how we pray together before meals and before bed as a family. And, when we go to adoration, Eucharistic adoration as a family, or when we do other things that are, faith oriented or just community building. We play a board game as a family. That's an opportunity for encounter with each other in the love of Christ, and that, and really that modeling of the Trinity of being together and pouring out and receiving love as a family.
Where the rubber meets the road.
Yes.
Is that the right phrase?
Sure.
And all of those things. What has been the most surprising thing, or the most wow, I never thought of it that way from the class?
Oh man, you're putting me on the spot.
Well, I have mine.
Oh,
so.
Well, you do yours first.
No. You go first. I asked first.
Okay.
Gentlemen first.
Oh, this time, gentlemen first. I was really surprised to see how many Catholic educators are thinking about and really concerned about the formation of parents. That's something I felt it's something that I do in my role, and specifically with our faith formation at our parish, but it's not something I see and hear a ton of. And it's not something I heard a ton of when I was teaching in the school. There's always kind of this culture of, let's just take care of the kids and not worry about the parents, because really there's this thought that just parents can just get in the way, right, of what we're trying to do. And that's not the right thought. That's not the right mindset. But I think that's what was there, and that's something that I've certainly been guilty of as well. So it's really refreshing to hear so many Catholic educators be concerned for the parents of these families where the students are coming to the school. Okay, how about you?
I have two things.
Oh, two.
Yeah,
okay.
so I don't know what I'm gonna do. Okay, the first one was one of the I don't know if she's a professor or not, but her name was Jem Sullivan. Is that right? She was talking all about beauty and how when we encounter beauty, it's like the visible of truth and goodness. And so she was talking about using like sacred art and images to help students to see both the goodness of the faith. And one of the things she said in her interview was like that she always tries to lead with beauty. And I just like really love that idea. And she gave the example of like the image of the road to Emmaus and how like starting with that image with students and kind of like talking about the beauty of it. Or maybe it's like I'm thinking of the image like where Jesus is like breaking the bread and they finally like realize, I don't know who painted that, but they're like in shock that like, oh my gosh, like our eyes are now open. I'm gonna get my notes
Oh, you have your notes here.
Well, I come prepared.
All right.
As one should when you're creating a podcast.
If you say so.
She said, I don't know if these are actually her words or if she was quoting someone, but she said, the effects of genuine beauty draws us out of ourselves and beauty gives wings to the soul. I think she was quoting a saint.
Yeah.
And then she said that beauty is the visible form of truth and goodness. And that, just being able to like draw us to God from seeing something that is beautiful. So I really love that. And she also like tapped into like what it means to have like a sacramental lens, is like being able to see things with the eyes of faith. So I love that. And then the second thing that kind of stood out to me, there was an interview with, his name was Chris Baglow, I think is how you say his last name, but he was talking all about like the Eucharist or like faith and science.
Yes.
And how like he was the second person who referenced the is it St. Augustine? Tantum ergo.
No, it's Thomas Aquinas.
Thomas Aquinas. My apologies.
Apologies
Thomas
to St. Aquinas.
But he was the second person who quoted like the line that says like, when our senses fail to fathom, let us grasp through faith.
Yes.
And he was then talking about like Eucharistic miracles, how like people are always like so in awe of like Eucharistic miracles and like it's amazing that like these things happen, which yes it is. But he kind of like, I don't know, took a shift of like Eucharistic miracles are supposed to be reminders of like help us remember what we believe.
Yeah.
And that they're not proof that the Eucharist is Jesus's body, blood, soul, and divinity. And that just like was like, oh yeah, like I don't need a Eucharistic miracle to like believe that the Eucharist is Jesus.
Right.
Because that's like the thing that like is like more like there are no scientific proofs for like divine mysteries.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I just loved how he was like talking about faith and science together. It was like a unique way that I've not heard of someone speak of it. So it just like had me thinking a lot.
Do you remember when he was talking about the chemistry teacher and how much of a witness it was when she was at a school mass as an extraordinary minister of the Eucharist? And that brought up a question in a student, right? It was like, which do you believe more, faith or science, your religion or science? And that just like sparked this long conversation, like in the classroom, right?
Yeah.
About how they are not competitive, right? It's not one or the other. It's just that they do, and they reveal different things or different aspects of the same thing, of the same truth.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool. How that, like, a science teacher had a very like unique and powerful way to witness to the reality of faith.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's been good. Lots to think about.
Oh yeah, lots to think about. And we're halfway done? Not even halfway.
Yeah. About that. Something.
Yeah. And then that leads to in the true middle of our course, we're going to the Eucharistic Congress this summer. So we decided for our vacation that we are going to pack up the whole family. We got an Airbnb in downtown Indianapolis near Lucas Oil Stadium, and we are going to be kind of pilgrims 1 mile pilgrims. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I guess so. Pilgrims, and we're going to be walking back and forth each day to the Congress from our Airbnb.
It just reminds me of when I said pilgrim, that like one of the things I do when we study the Middle Ages in 6th grade when we read the book Crispin is we do these like monologues from the Middle Ages, and one of them is about like this pilgrim who's going to Saint Winifred's well to be like healed of her like crippled back or whatever. And anyways, I imagine it's just not the same thing, but kind of the same thing.
Almost the same thing. Your back might feel that way when we're moving all those kids around for those
I'm
for
not
those
carrying
5 days.
them or anything.
I know, but it's just a lot of work.
Holding lots of hands.
Holding lots of hands. Yes.
I was thinking
tightly.
today, like, should we get little like
leashes?
Jeep? No, that's not what I was thinking. Something that's like an air tag, but not an air tag to like clip on them. So if they get like lost or stolen, we can find them again.
We could buy them all Apple Watches.
No,
you want to make that investment?
I don't want to be an Apple consumer. Adam and Eve did that poorly.
Oh, that's true. Good joke. Thank you for that.
No, but something like off-brand, like, here, put this on your wrist. So I don't know. There's gonna be like 50,000 Catholics.
Yeah, that's what they're expecting. 50,000 people there, and that's the reason I want to go, and the reason I want to take the family. Because when I was going into high school, my parents took me and 2 of my sisters and a couple of my cousins up to Toronto for World Youth Day, and there was 1 million Catholics there, and for me that was life-changing. Lucky. I would have invited you if I knew you back then. But just the power of that witness of so many young people. I mean, everywhere you could see, and then also at World Youth Day, the presence of St. John Paul II.
In his helicopter.
One of 3 helicopters, but you didn't know which one. So in case you wanted to shoot down a helicopter.
No,
stop.
Don't even say that.
I think that's why they did it, though, just in case somebody attacked a helicopter, they wouldn't know which one to go for. But anyway, yes, that was an incredible experience for me to be at World Youth Day for a number of days in Toronto. And I want to be able to give a similar experience to my kids where they can meet.
Drivable.
Yes. I mean, it's only 3 hours away from us, which is fantastic, right? And then, for them to be able to, because we'll be with other families all week. They have a family track at the Eucharistic Congress.
My parents are going.
Oh, there you go. I didn't know that.
Yes.
Oh.
That has been the plan since the beginning.
Oh, I didn't think it was actually happening.
Mom and Dad, are you coming? They are coming.
Okay. Do you think they listen?
No.
I can send
I
them
don't
a
think
link.
they know of this. Shout out to Mom and Dad.
Yes. Oh, I have no idea what I was saying now. Thanks for that.
I don't remember.
I want our kids
either.
to see a whole lot of different Catholics. Oh yeah,
Oh,
we're going to be
the
around.
family
We're going to be around a lot of different, like a lot of families from around the country.
Yep.
For that time too. So like they'll get to see the witness of other families, other kids their age, at this Congress, and then of course all the big names will be there. You know, Father Mike Schmitz, Bishop Barron, Sister Miriam,
Katie
McGrady, yes, everybody who listens to this,
Dolan,
everybody who listens to this podcast will definitely be there because they're
can't
cool.
say that's accurate either.
All right,
Sacrilegious.
yeah, sacrilegious, saints alive, yes, all the good people. So yeah, we're going to that. That's another good summer plan for us.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not relaxing, trying to keep track of our kids around 50,000 other people, but it will be fun.
Sounds fun.
Yeah.
Let's do it. And the thing that I'm most excited about, well, it might not be the most exciting thing, but I was like looking into like, oh, we need to figure out what like different breakouts we're doing and our schedule. Like we have to be prepared. But I think on one of the nights they're like bringing a musical about Saint Bernadette from like France. It was like production from France that they're bringing, and it's gonna be like put on for us at the Congress. Saint Bernadette musical, the musical.
I can't wait for Saint Bernadette solo.
Da 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 da. I don't know.
I don't know anything about it, so I'm just excited to see what happens.
I hope it's in French. Oui, oui.
Oh.
I don't know if it'll be in French.
I don't know either.
We probably need subtitles if it is.
I've seen a play with subtitles before.
But it's not a play, it's a musical.
Well, okay. So it's a play with music.
She shall sing. Say that 5 times fast.
Oh. I saw a Shakespeare play where they kept changing languages and there were subtitles. They had screens on
Interesting.
on the sides of the stage. But I'm just saying that because it's possible to have subtitles at a musical.
But that was a play.
And a play with music.
A musical play.
All right. Did you have anything else on your mind tonight?
Well, let me look at my notes that I have come prepared with.
I know you have notes. You have notes.
Nope, that's about it.
That's it? Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I think summer is going by fast, and that makes me sad and happy.
Sad and happy. Summer it's a lot of fun. Finally get a chance to sit down, make a podcast together. We watch a lot of baseball games. Our boys play baseball. That's a big part of our family life right now in the summer is baseball, which is fun. It's the most Catholic of all the sports, from what I've heard.
What does that mean?
I don't know, but that's what I've heard.
Because they're very Eucharistic.
They're very Eucharistic.
Encountering one another by hitting the ball to each other, and
maybe it's because so many of them make the sign of the cross. So you see the sign of the cross like 15, 20 times every time you watch a baseball game. So can't get better than that.
I mean, it's outside, so it's like in nature.
Mm-hmm.
God's creation is all around.
Right.
There's birds that fly onto the field, or squirrels and stuff. There's a bug that landed on you when we were at the game.
That's true. All right. Any other closing comments?
You're the one who led us down this rabbit hole, so I think you have to lead us out of it.
I will just go ahead and close.
Wait, you didn't talk about Totus Tuus.
Well, sure, I'd love to talk about Totus Tuus. I guess we
That was like
won't
the
close.
big thing that you were...
It's the big thing I wanted. I mean, we talked about a lot of other things, but summer at the parish means time for Totus Tuus, which is a missionary program with college students, some of them seminarians, where they come and lead essentially a vacation Bible school for kids who are going into grades 1 through 6 during the day, and they actually do an evening program for kids in middle school and high school as well. And they're just incredible witnesses of like what it looks like to live out the gospel and to be on mission with joy. They have a great dedication to Mary and to the Rosary, and they teach about that a lot. And I think one of the things I appreciate the most about the Totus Tuus program is that like there's no denying its Catholicity in any way. Like I've seen and done and helped with like the VBS in a box many times. Where I grew up, we did an ecumenical VBS. There was the Catholic Church and then the Methodist and the Presbyterian and the Episcopal and the Lutheran churches. We all did VBS together, and that made sense.
That's a lot of people.
There's a lot of kids, but everybody was done with their VBS after the first week of summer. And that makes sense in that context to do like that, kind of like the VBS in a box where you're, just learning your Bible passages and singing a lot of songs and doing just a lot of like fun activities. Like it's really heavy on the fun, and then you get some prayer and some good things from that as far as like learning some things about your Christian faith. But what I love about Totus Tuus is that it's like the whole thing is about learning your faith and going to live it, and especially in the context of the Mass. There's Mass every day, and there's also an opportunity for confession for every kid that's gone to has made their first confession. They have the opportunity to go through the week as well. So like our 3 kids, this last week, right, they went to Mass every single day. Because we went to Sunday Mass, right? And then they went to daily Mass Monday through Friday with Totus Tuus. And then the 2 older ones, they each got to go to confession this week as well. Like, what more like the sacramental life, right? That's why we learn those things about our faith, because so we can put them into a context, so we can live out the power of the sacraments, and we can actually have a whole Catholic life instead of knowing a few songs and having a few Bible passages memorized. And that's good to have a positive experience, right? Mm-hmm. Of your faith and have fun, have a good time. But like there's something more to that can be done with that. There's something more to it. And Totus Tuus really helps with that and gets the kids excited about Mass, about Mary, about some traditional hymns, about the Creed. Like the kids were all pumped up about the Apostles' Creed this week and the glorious mysteries. And so for them to be able to go home, right, and then that's really supportive for the parents as they try to find ways to live out the Catholic faith at home daily. Do you think our kids had fun this week?
Yes, they were exhausted though.
Yeah,
they were tired, but I feel like this week went by really fast because we were kind of busy in the evenings after Totus Tuus, and they were kind of just like ready to have like let me just rest. Mm-hmm. They were like, I need a break. But yes, I think they had a good time. I'm very thankful for all the sacraments. Kind of goes back to full circle of being Eucharistic. That we have to encounter Jesus in the sacraments, specifically the Eucharist. And then we're not just meant to encounter him at Mass, but then live it out.
Yes.
The Eucharist calls us to live out.
It gives us the power to.
Yeah.
That's what the grace is for.
So, I don't have a good quote about the Eucharist. Go Eucharist.
Yeah.
Go Jesus.
Good stuff. Okay. Well, we hope you enjoyed listening today and found some of what we are up to helpful for you. I ask that you please subscribe to our podcast. You can check out our Substack posts at thecatecast.com. You can always comment on any episode or post that's there and let us know what you're interested in hearing about in the future. God bless you, and we'll see you next time on the Catecast.